What's up, guys? Darkside Spencer here, and as you guys can tell, I'm here live on the YouTube, and it's been about a month. All right, huh? Huh? Fuck! I just heard myself. Fuck. Anyways, how do I even go about this video? Alright, let's start with the topic, which it really sucks, and this is a full video explaining my opinion on it. So, where the fuck do I believe? Oh, man. I'm a big fan of Ronnie Hayes. He's a YouTuber that, basically reports on The Walking Dead. And he has his own comic and all the stuff. It's called Doomsday Kingdom. Go check him out. I'm going to leave him in the description. He made a few videos talking about the departure of Andrew Lincoln. Who, if you don't know, Andrew Lincoln is Rick Grimes on The Walking Dead. And pretty much it's been confirmed that I keep getting, like, fucking paranoid, but pretty much, him and, Lauren Cohan, who plays Maggie, will be leaving The Walking Dead in Season 9. And I had to get my hand in it, because I've been following the show since around Season 4, live, anyways. I have not been watching since the beginning. However, I believe I actually started watching live. I think like the last episode. No, I think it must have been the one before A, which is the season finale of season 4. I can't remember what it's called, but it's episode 15 of Season 4 of The Walking Dead. That's whenever I started watching it live. That's whenever I, got my feel for it. For the live show. No, it's not really live, It's, whenever it was, airing at the time. New, fresh episodes. So I've been following the show since Season 4. And I don't correct me, or you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was around 2014, 2015, something like that. Season 4 was, and then Season 5 I think it was like 2016. I want to say, and then I don't know. I don't want to go into that, but because I may be wrong as fuck, but I've been following The Walking Dead for so long. It's ridiculous how long I've been watching this show. I'm a huge fan. I've got Lucille, I've got a poster. I went to Walker Stalker Con, which is actually in one of my videos that I didn't post, but it's a scene in there that I wanted it to live, that memory to live on through the videos, so I was like, put it in there. I think I cut my lip. Rip. But, it was very, I just really wanted a show, that was for me, like, ever since, like, I was very little, I've watched shows like Breaking Bad, which is my favorite TV show, besides The Walking Dead. Except there's always that something about it, like, it's that primal instinct for survival, like, you gotta live no matter what you want to do. And zombies is, like, the best idea, when it comes to survival, That's the most terrifying, to me, at least. Besides, like, poisonous gas, I mean, that's about it, but that's not really that scary. Well, it can be, but depends on how you interpret it. But anyways, enough about all that. Andrew Lincoln and Maggie, Lauren Cohan, are leaving The Walking Dead. They haven't confirmed it, like, officially, but if I know anything about AMC, they're greedy as shit, so they're gonna, they're gonna hype it up. I guarantee it, with, like, a trailer. They're gonna hype the hell out of it. And, they're not gonna tell us, they probably won't leave until, like, the season finale, or not the season finale, the mid-season finale. Kind of pull a Carl on us, basically have them die, like, actually physically, like, die in the mid-season premiere, and, like, get hinted towards in the mid-season finale. That's how greedy those little shits are. But the problem with the show, and the reason why I think they're leaving, is because of the budget. And this is something that Ronnie Hayes has pretty much instilled in me that I believe in. And it's been real, you know, because, like, how do I even explain this? The comic book, the budget that they were given, couldn't have accomplished much from the comic book. Especially from what the material we're looking at now, with the Commonwealth and all that stuff. They're not going to be able to do that, like, you know, without a lot of budget issues. And they didn't, in my opinion, they didn't pull off All Out War. They didn't pull it off. It was a good version of it. It was an okay version of it. It wasn't a good one. Because everything past the first episode of season 7 was literal budget issues up the ass. It was constant inconsistencies, a lot of dragging, you know, a lot of breaking Rick down, which, I mean, that was ridiculous, because there's like 9 episodes of that, and then they break him down even more in the finale. My thing about it was that, and the whole topic that I'm building to is Rick Grimes exiting the show. What I'm trying to get to. That, just keep that in mind as I'm talking. That it's what I'm building to. So these are just my opinions right now. So I'm building to that. Just keep that in mind. I'm building to his departure in the show and where we are now in the show. So I'm building up from what, you know, Glenn and Abraham's death to then. So we have Rick Grimes being broken down episode after episode until basically the last episode of season 7. It's where he gets his balls back, pretty much. And the show leaves so much to be desired, like, all the time. And I had a good point that I was going to bring up, but I can't remember what the hell I was going to say, but back in season 3 and 4, there was, like, I know there's, like, alright, this is how it should have went. It should have been, like, a governor situation. Except, you know, like, the governor, you know, like how he disappeared and he came back, you know. That's what it should have been like, except not with the disappearing shit. You know, I think they should have went full comic, you know. Except they made, oh, here's the point I was trying to make. They made it to where Negan was unforgivable, in my opinion. Because, in one's opinion, they could spin it in a way that Negan was the fault, or was the fault of Carl's death. Like, he was, you know, he should take the blame. You know, because him and his rule basically led him to get bit. Like, it put him in the situation where, like, they had to scavenge and, like, they had to go out and, like, out in the zombie world, you know, again in the apocalypse. And in a way, you could say that Negan killed Carl. One could interpret that. At least that's how I say it, you know, or how I think of it. It's possible you can do that, you know. And, like I said, you know, with Rick Grimes, and, like, the biggest problem with the show is that, like, after season 7, you know, everyone was so fucking hyped for season 7, and, like, Negan in the first episode was, like, so badass. Like, he was, like, taking no shits, and they like have these kind of tug of wars the entire season, you know, like going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you know, and you know, it was just very out of character for Rick Grimes to tread lightly, and that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Like, Rick Grimes does not tread lightly at all. All right, he never does. At least that's what I've observed of him. He definitely is a badass himself. But you know, the show made it to where Rick Grimes had to kill Negan, in my opinion. They literally had to do it. Like, in my opinion, if the ending of the season 8 finale was Negan getting stabbed in the throat, and Rick is like viciously stabbing the shit out of him or some shit, Rick Grimes stands up all bloodied and all that stuff, we would have been left in fucking shock. Like, I'm no shit. Like, if he would have got up and, you know, and like been like all bloody, you know, beard, blood, you know, dripping off of him, and like the last shot you see is like everyone's like, holy shit, like, you know, like looking at Rick as he stands up, kind of like in a reference to season 7 where he stood up. No, actually I think it was 6, where he stood up and he killed one of the Hilltop members, and he was just like, what do you want? And no, he didn't say what do you want, but he was like, what? And he was, you know, if he would have pulled one of those, and like the finale literally ended like that, and they were like, you know, like, and like Rick's just like cocks his gun, walks away, and basically he writes a note, you know, saying, I'm sorry, Carl, but, you know, some things you can't change, you know. He had to die, you know. He pushed me over the limit. And, but, you know, it's, I'm not a writer, you know. That's just me coming up with shit on top of my head. The idealistic, I don't even know if that's the right word. The idea that I had was, he did kill Negan, the way he does on the show, like, cause, like, this is more close to the show, but me, I would have preferred if he would have died, instead of him being like, save him, but, to be honest, like, he should have, like, no crap, he should have just been like, you know, let's kill this motherfucker, you know what I mean? And, like, him running out of, like, bullets with the python, and we've been begging for that python to come back for, like, a whole season, you know, that really, it kind of sucked to see him, like, not be able to use the python, because he ran out of bullets. And that fight scene between Negan and Rick, dude, that was, like, so overhyped, and I consider that filler, you know, like, they literally, like, had a fight, but, like, it was, I mean, it was pretty suspenseful and dramatic, but, I mean, it was very filler-like. Like, they drawn that shit out the entire episode. It was like, oh my god, just get to it. God, this show. Why do we even support this fucking show, dude? Like, why do we support the suits over there at fucking AMC? But, anyways, I think that, since and I meant to say this earlier, every year since season 7 has aired, they've apologized on stage. Like, no shit. Like, the mid-season finale, and, like, I think they went and did, like, a little Comic-Con type thing. They apologized in the middle of season 7. Like, all the characters, or the actors, like, even Andrew Lincoln, you can look this up, there's no shit. Like, they literally said, I'm sorry. You know, we're sorry, you know, the fans aren't liking this, and hopefully next time it'll be better, you know what I mean? Like, and those motherfuckers, they stayed up for hours, you know, trying to make a show, you know, and have us, you know, fans come back and say, fuck you, you know, you made a bad product. But it's not their fault, you know what I mean? It's the suits over there at AMC. You know what I mean? It's not their fault, you know what I mean? Like, they have no control over, like, what happens, or how it happens. Oh, fucking hell, mate. Um, I was saying something. Oh, but yeah, they apologize like every single time. It was kind of ridiculous, but I mean, I don't blame them. But at the same time, I do. But I think that, and this is where we're at now. We're now at modern times, where the announcements have went off, and this isn't confirmed by AMC, but yes, Andrew Lincoln and Lauren Cohan are unofficially confirmed to be leaving The Walking Dead. And ever since Carl died, the show has just lost it, like lost the power, lost the oomph, the backup plan to give, to basically pass the torch to Carl, pass that damn torch, is gone, And the most chilling thing is the storytelling in the show is really well. It's really well done because Shane said it, you can't protect them, I know you can't, keep them safe, and he didn't, and, that's my biggest problem with the show is, it's a double-edged sword, like, it's very chilling to think that side, but at the same time, it's very frustrating to see a show where it could go on for fucking years and be interesting as shit, because there's so much storyline that they can go down and remix, but they decided to kill off Carl Grimes, and then, which I was okay with. I was like, okay, I get it, Rick, you're a badass. And seeing, the season 8 finale, I was like, well, shit, that's the end of the series, Like, to me, that was the end of the series. Seeing the ending with, Rick putting the hat on little Carl, and, that was it. That's the end of the series for me. I'm going to go into season 9, of course, with an open mind. And how they kill Rick off, you can't win with a character like Rick Grimes, the main character, dying. You can't. There's no way you can win. Like, there's just... How do I explain this? Fuck. I'm yawning because I'm tired of shit. I haven't been to bed in, like, probably about 30 hours, so... If I look like shit, I'm sorry, but... I had to make this video before I went to bed, but... I'm not going to bed yet, but... Gotta go play some games, but... It's just... You can't kill the main character of a show without having a backup character that's been there for a while to take over. Now, that is the biggest issue that I fucking have. They're giving like $20 million, that's from what I heard, to Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus. Now, a lot of you people probably don't even know who the fuck that is. If I said Daryl, you'd be like, oh shit, Daryl, I know who that is. Yeah, they're getting Daryl to be the main character of The Walking Dead in season 9. Or supposedly going to be. Maybe not in season 9, but season 10 for sure. Which I'm not even sure they're done filming yet, but we'll figure that out soon. Because I think every October they premiere the new season, so we got 3 more months. I just don't... Well, actually about 2, but... I just don't appreciate the way that... they're just gonna calmly kill off a main character. Like... An actual main character, that's been there since season 1. And from what I've heard from a lot of YouTubers, they're trying to kill off the main cast. My problem with that is... that's the only reason us fans are still around, And, I'm sorry to say it, but, like, AMC, you're killing the show. You're really killing it. And not in a good way. You're actually fucking destroying the show from within. And Scott Gimple, the showrunner for The Walking Dead since, like, season 4, season 5, whichever the fuck it is, you need to rethink what you're doing. That was a terrible decision to kill Carl. But you've had very good storylines for a long time, and you've been doing it on the Walking Dead. You've had some really good storylines, and you've done some really good remixing. The issue that I have with you is you do such things in a drastic way, and you remix stuff in such a drastic way where it just doesn't fit, you know? And Carl's death, it didn't have much build-up. It was just a fucking surprise, you know? It was just like out of nowhere. Oh, shit, he's bit. You know, and I felt like it was just done for, like, shock, you know? And that should have been, like, the fucking ending of the show, you know? Not, like, I'm not saying that episode in particular should have been the ending, but I think if everyone had to go out, that should be a part of the final episode of The Walking Dead. It's Carl getting bit or some shit. Or, you know, him, you know, leaving to go somewhere else and Rick dies and shit. That should have been the ending. It shouldn't have been, you know, fucking in the middle of a season for shock. You know what I mean? But, Maggie, forgot about her. She hasn't had a much screen time since, like, season 6. So, I mean, I'm okay with her leaving, but, I mean, because she's, like, slowly been fading out for, like, the past few seasons. But now she's, like, a leader, you know, of a big, you know, establishment of a group. And, the shit with, the storyline with, like, Rick Grimes versus, you know, Daryl and all them, that shit at the end of the season 8, that was very, very uncalled for. It was, do they even know what they're doing? Like, that, like, I understand Maggie. I don't understand Jesus. Jesus has no fucking clue, like, he doesn't even know why he doesn't like Rick. Like, he's supported Rick ever since he fucking came in that bitch. So, and then Daryl and Rick have been brothers since, like, season 4. Like, they've been tight since, like, season 2. But, or not really season 2, but, like, about halfway through season 2, and then through 3, they're, like, fucking butt buddies, you know? And they can't just, like, kill each other off, you know? Like, if that ends up happening, depends on the way they do it, I would love it / hate it. Depending on, like, one way being they do it one way being this way. Like, if they killed, you know, Daryl off because, you know, he wanted to be Rick Grimes, you can go ahead and count me out. I'm not watching anymore. If they kill Rick off because the power has just gone straight to his head and he's, like, becoming like Shane, you know, fucking do it. Shoot him, dude. Shoot him. Let's do it. But it's not going to happen that way, I guarantee you. The show... Andrew... I remember back whenever I first started season 5, and I saw many of the greatest fucking episodes that's ever aired on TV, in my opinion. Season 5 is my favorite season, I think, because it had so many good damn scenes, and it's the perfect representation of the apocalypse, you know, like, survival, you know, until you're gone, you know, until you're dead, and, it's just a perfect in one season. That's The Walking Dead, you know, like that could be made into a movie. That one season, you know, and they summarize the first, like, 3 seasons or 4 seasons, and they could literally put season 5 into a fucking movie. I don't care what anyone says, they could. It's that good. But that's just my opinion. You know, ever since season 5, I've always thought, there's no way the show's gonna go to shit. You know, I was a firm believer. Even with the season 6 finale, I was like, you know, I was like, holy shit, I was like fanboying this shit out, bro. And now that I've seen the train wreck that it's become, you know, I never thought it would end. Not while I was still a kid. Well, I'm not a kid, but I'm like a young adult. But I never thought The Walking Dead would end, you know, in a bad way. I thought it would end on a fucking high note. But it's just... it's being, you know, it's beating a dead horse, you know. We're Lucilleing the fuck out of the show. That's AMC, you know. They're in the little fucking sweatshops. They're like, can we kill the show anymore? Please tell us how. You know, they're fucking killing it, bro. Like, they're actually slaying that bitch until it's not breathing. And I hate it. But that's just my opinion. I hate the way they're killing the show. And I think that Andrew Lincoln and Maggie, they're just jumping the ship, you know. Before it gets too bad and their reputation is, you know, fucking, you know, destroyed by the train wreck. Y'all need, AMC, y'all need to get your shit together. Just letting you know. See you guys.